Yeah.
Hey, good evening, guys. It is time to begin. Sorry, you two were still talking at that point. Bollocks this evening. And I don't know if you guys know this, but we are in the
Bozard Ford Studio.
Damn right we are. All right, it is time for Bollocks this evening, and I got to tell you about the amazing people at Bozard Ford. Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine. Their goal is to make sure, we already did that, make sure time and experience buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been the recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford also has won back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out today online at bozardford.com.
For over 20 years, A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing has been St. Augustine's trusted name in roofing. From cedar shake and tile to flat roofs and designer shingles, they've got you covered, literally. Specializing in painted metal roofs for saltwater area homes with warranties up to 25 years and cedar shake shingle warranties up to 50 years. A to Z puts customer satisfaction first. Free estimates, top-tier materials, and service you can count on. Visit A2Z Roofing and Waterproofing.com. That's A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing.com. A to Z Roofing, protecting homes from the top down.
All right, these guys were at my building today, and we're talking about Mr. Electric. Need a trusted electrician in St. Augustine? Call Mr. Electric of St. Augustine, a local veteran-owned business providing expert residential and commercial electrical services across St. Johns, Flagler, and Putnam counties. From panel upgrades and lighting installs to safety inspections or EV chargers, their licensed pros do it all. With upfront pricing and satisfaction guaranteed backed by the neighborly done-right promise, flexible scheduling, no surprises, just dependable hometown service. Give them a call today at 904-289-1217 or visit online at Mr. Electric. What is that? Or visit them online to request service. Just give them a call at 904-289. I was trying to predict it, and I failed miserably. 289-1217. Mr. Electric of St. Augustine, your local power expert. All right.
Good.
Oh, I think so. That was that was a little nuts, and you are what you eating.
There we go.
Ate a lot of mixed nuts.
Well, most school nurses will tell you that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. When you're in the mood for a great breakfast that you don't want to cook at home, you're in luck. You have a choice of two. Whether it's a hubcap-sized pancake, creative omelets, or a burger and fries, both Anastasia Diner and Moultrie Creek Diner are neighborhood favorites. The coffee is always hot and fresh. The service comes with a smile from new friends. Each meal is a chance to make memories while you share stories. It's more than the food on your plate. It's a sense of community that comforts you while you eat. Let's see it. It's crossed out. Enjoy a meal at either Anastasia Diner or Moultrie Creek Diner. Tell them Andy sent you. I was having this sense of motion.
You kept moving that way, like
I don't know.
I don't know.
We need to put an S. Where's my tape on the floor?
Usually Blake says, "Move over, Lenny," and he doesn't say, "Move over, Lenny."
All right. Okay, I'm coming to you. Right. There you go.
Because I miss you. I want you close to me.
I know. I understand that. I do. I appreciate that very much. You'll never know how much I appreciate that. But Anastasia Diner's good place.
Oh, man, Andy's amazing.
Yep.
Andy's amazing.
Good food. We like it there very much.
They have just the kindest staff. Mm-hmm. All right. Other amazing sponsors we need you guys to help us out with and support. We have Brightway Insurance, St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum, the St. Anastasia Construction Group also helped me out today. Appreciate you guys. Solar Stick, Abear Kresge and Associates, Powell Heating and Air, Meehan's, A.D. Davis Construction, St. Augustine Distillery, and City Gate Spirits. Oh, man. What a great crew.
Yeah, we're going to Meehan's tonight.
Are you?
Yep, I believe Caleb is back from his sailing trip. I want to hear all about it.
Cool.
And he's my official martini of the month because I don't drink that much anymore at all. Mm-hmm. So when I go to Meehan's, I have Caleb make me a frosty cold martini, and that's, you know.
And they do really well with the Troy Teeny.
Yeah.
So
which is?
It's Jameson and ginger.
Oh, there you go. So, okay.
And it's not shaken or stirred.
Right.
Not shaken, not stirred. So maybe back and forth, maybe a little shake. I don't know.
Shimmy shake?
Nah. Yeah. Shimmy Cocoa Pop. All right. It is Monday, and it's time for Bollocks.
Why not?
Yes. And we got to talk about the World Series.
What a great set of games, man. Friday and Saturday. Yeah, we were, you finished your week on Friday. I finished our week on Thursday. Friday night's game was fabulous. Whew. And Saturday night was no letdown of excitement.
No, man, I'm telling you, that World Series, I mean, I'm not a huge Dodger fan. I'm not a huge Blue Jay fan.
Right.
I felt like the Dodgers were the better team. I had a bet, and then in the 10th inning or 11th inning, it ended in 11th, right?
Saturday ended 11, yeah.
They gave me an offer, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to take it. And I ended up, the Dodgers ended up winning, but, I won $2.
Okay.
It's better than losing 50.
So I won much assured.
So, but I went ahead and took it because the people in the room said take it. It was against my better judgment, but, I still took it.
See me, I'm such a bad gambler that, I'd rather risk $2 to win 50 as opposed to take $2 and say, look what I got out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I take pretty much every victory.
Yeah.
So, 'cause I don't get a lot of them.
But if you're any kind of baseball fan, you have nothing to complain about that World Series, unless it was your team that got beaten up. And
it had everything.
Yeah.
And what an amazing performance by
Yamamoto.
Well, Yamamoto, I mean, two wins, and then he got 3 wins.
Got 3 wins. He was the MVP. He won 3 of the 4 Dodger victories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when he wasn't pitching, they didn't have a good chance.
Nope.
So, and they have some great pitchers. Snell, they're supposed to be their ace.
Yep.
Struggled throughout the entire series.
Yeah.
So,
but he did okay when he pitched in Game 7.
7.
Yeah, he
Game 7.
did okay.
Yeah,
in that game.
he did. He did a nice job in relief there. And they basically and Yamamoto had just thrown 116 pitches or something like that the night before.
Yeah.
That is very taxing on your body. But you got all off season to rest.
That's exactly it. If you're not going to come out for the last game of the season when you have nothing to do tomorrow, but have somebody clean your locker for you.
Yeah. But I mean, the exhaustion of that. I mean, I don't know if you've ever were a pitcher at any time.
No.
And we made fun of pitchers, and we don't call them baseball players because they're not really.
Well,
I said that out loud.
Glass of water.
But they're needed. They're needed to make the game start and finish. But it does. It's very taxing on your body to pitch a game, and that's why these guys are always running. They're usually, eating a lot of seeds and stuff like that, but they're always running.
Yeah.
So they're in probably the best shape, even though you look at guys like. Wells, what was his name?
David Wells,
and look at some of those guys.
Well, we were talking about Fernando Valenzuela earlier today, and he wasn't svelte.
Yeah, but he was a hell of an athlete.
Ferdy? Yeah.
He could hit.
He was a fun pitcher to watch pitch, too, man.
Yeah, and Barbagine, I did not bet on the Lions yesterday. I didn't play hardly any football at all yesterday, so, I kind of took yesterday off. My Hurricanes were brutal.
Yes, I was not going to mention that, but yes,
they were brutal. They just, I mean, Beck just is not a big game guy.
No,
he's just not a big game guy. So I mean, they paid him a lot of money to lose the close games. So
and this was his first season in Miami or his second season?
This is his first season in Miami.
Yeah, so
because remember we had Cam Ward there last year.
Right.
So #1 pick overall. So he was trying to.
Yeah.
He was supposed to come in and do the same thing. Yeah, not so much, buddy.
In that game, you need some type of relationship with your receivers and your running backs. And if you're just in there, even at the end of the season that you've been doing through training camp, spring practice, spring game, and the regular season, you need to have some kind of relationship with the players. It's hard to develop that, in one season. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but when you get paid that much, you
don't care.
Yeah.
Well,
when you get paid that much, you're expected to come in and play.
See, and that's why I look at someone like Yamamoto who came out and said, "Give me the ball. I'll throw it. Just give me the ball." And you kind of like that effort from a ball player who's not going to say, "Well, I'm not team sport. You need me. I'm yours." Mm-hmm. And you got to like that.
Well, I mean, it was kind of ironic that it took the Japanese guy to keep the championship in the United States.
Right. Exactly.
2 Japanese guys, actually. Yeah. So.
Yeah. 3 if you count Sasaki, who was he was
played,
warming up. I got very nervous if he was coming back in the game in the 11th inning because the night before
He was all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, he got out of it.
He looked like
did,
he
but
had
it was
too much sake.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, he made me a little bit nervous, like some of the old Met relievers. By the way, Diaz filed for free agency, so get your checkbooks out, boys.
You're welcome.
And by that I mean, Mr. Cohen, get your checkbook out.
Yeah, no.
He needs to bring both him and
Cincinnati
Alonso
Reds
back.
don't have a checkbook. We have like an IOU bank that we just pull out little envelopes and here.
Give him a punch card.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Good luck.
Right.
We're sure you can get an endorsement deal with the mattress company because there's no big business in Cincinnati.
In the Queen City. Yeah. Okay.
So,
Well, it is exciting baseball.
yeah, I did not watch the 18-inning game. I stayed up, I think, until the 10th, maybe the 11th that night. But
And I came into that game in the 7th.
oh, did you?
Yeah. So I watched a full baseball game that had already gone 7 innings, and I watched an entire baseball
So
game.
you did
after
what?
that.
You stayed up.
Oh, yeah.
wow.
Yeah, 2:55. The game ended at 2:55.
Wow. No,
Yeah.
I think I dropped out around midnight.
And the fortunate thing is my nephew out in California is a huge Dodger fan. So I had no problem texting him at 3 a.m. my time because I knew he was awake.
Yeah, you knew he was there.
And it was only midnight for him. So yeah, he's a very happy man right now.
Yeah, and Bobby picked 7 games, but he picked the wrong team. And I think it's more important to pick the right team, Bobby.
I had him in 6. Did anybody have the Dodgers in 7 here?
No, we had him. Blake and I had him in 5.
So I'm closest without going over?
You're closest without going over. The price is right. You get to go to the.
Oh my goodness! Spin the wheel.
You
Right.
get to go hang out with Bob.
The big showcase. Yeah, exactly.
So,
Spay and neuter your pets.
Yeah. All right. We do have a couple other topics to talk about.
Sure.
By the way, I went to the rodeo last night. They did a really, really nice job with the rodeo. They had some world-class bull riders,
As
and
opposed to us who are real world-class bullshitters.
yeah, we were slinging some, yeah. But I mean, the vendors were good. It was a beautiful, it's the first
Nice
time I've
day.
been to that location.
Where was it?
It's up off
The-
St. Mark's.
Was it the Equestrian Center?
No, the Equestrian Center's out near Hastings. It was near World Golf Parkway. You take a left off World Golf Parkway onto
Okay.
St. Mark's, and it's they did a nice job with that facility.
Good.
The wind was blowing correctly there because it is
Oh
near,
yeah.
it is near a dump there.
Oh.
So
So the smell of horse poop would be better?
yeah. Oh yeah, the
a
smell
really
of
nice-
horse poop is not as offensive as the smell of horse urine.
Urine. Oh, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct.
People complain about the smell of the horse poop downtown, but it's actually the mixture of the urine in the poop. If it was just the poop, it wouldn't be as offensive.
And I find the smell of horse urine tends to linger right opposite the church where Flagler is buried. That seems to be where the horses come around and they decide to relieve themselves as they're coming back onto the Flagler campus. But oh well. So what was the best event?
The bull riding. Bull riding is always the best event. I mean, was a little nervous about one of the bullfighters. He got trampled.
Ow.
Very first bull. So I mean, he got it kicked in the mouth, and he stayed in. But
Toughed it out. Nice.
yeah. So I mean, and in case you don't know what the bullfighter is in rodeo, that is the rodeo clowns.
Yes.
So those guys really do an amazing job. Young man did get hurt in the bronc riding. Young man broke his arm during that, but as part of the sport.
Yeah.
So
Those are not small animals. The horses, the bulls, they are heavyweight animals.
and they did request the ladies to race for their boots for $100, and I'll give you one guess who was the first woman over the fence.
Was it our friend from the Pirate and Treasure Museum?
No, it was Rebecca.
Oh,
Rebecca was the first one over the fence. Like,
so it was audience participation.
Called it for the audience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they called it for the audience. They didn't have the shooting
They weren't.
event
There
at the
wasn't
rodeo.
okay because I would have liked to have seen that balloon shooting.
But Rebecca was the first one over over the fence.
And did she win?
No, she did not win. They fling the boots in all different directions, and her boots were too common looking, so she grabbed the wrong boots.
Oh, you had
to find your boots. You had to take your boots off.
Okay.
You had to go to the other end. Then they flung the boots in every different direction with like 20 other women out there, and the woman who had bright white boots,
There you go.
she could find her boots right away, and she just crushed the rest of the field. So while everyone else is picking up their boot going, nope, that's not mine.
Right.
So,
well, that's a technique for next year for Rebecca to follow up on. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Well, it looked like it would be a good Florida woman event also, because there was some crashes. So Rebecca did not fall.
Now, these women in their stocking feet running around there, were they dodging cow pies and horse turds?
In the arena, there's not a whole lot of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit here and there, but it's not a whole lot of that. It's usually
kind of wondering. Yeah,
it's fluffed right before the rodeo and cleaned, and it's probably the cleanest spot on the in the places actually in the arena.
Okay.
So, no, it was fun. It was a fun watch, and Maeve had a wonderful time. Got her face painted and got to get a couple little prizes, and
excellent.
It was what her birthday request was, go to rodeo, and it just happened to happen a week after her birthday.
What a family fun day.
That was really, really nice.
Good time by all. We're going to have to remember that for
Blake
next
was
year.
happy he didn't have to go. Would you agree with that statement, Blake?
Let's not talk about that.
Were you even listening?
Yes, I was. Again. Yes, I was.
Goodness gracious.
Well, look.
We said something in the pre-show that I said on the show. Lenny asked me about, and Blake goes, "What?" All right.
Okay. So look. Yeah. So yeah. Look. I'm glad you guys had a fun time. But hey, unfortunately, I was too focused on the Steelers game. Though we won. We beat the Colts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're happy you didn't have. You could watch your Steelers and you didn't have to go. You're not an outside person.
No,
you're not an outside person. You're an indoor person. That would have been the proper way to respond to Eeyore. So, jeez.
We have to staple his tail, thumbtack his tail back on?
I think we might have to there, grumpy freaking Smurf. It's Monday. We got all week. All right. What other topics we got?
Well, we talked about coral bleaching and coral reefs that were dying.
Coral.
Yeah.
Coral.
Yeah.
Okay, you say it. I'll translate.
Coral. Okay.
Bleaching.
Right. And it's the pronunciation of Florida. Apparently, Julie noticed that people in Florida say Florida, and people outside of Florida say Florida.
Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's a slower word in Florida.
Does a very universal word, because there's really no other word that you put no in front of it and it means the exact same thing. Because duh and no duh mean the exact same thing.
Right. But we were talking last week about how just a couple of degree difference in ocean temperature is causing the algae to fall off of the coral, which is their food source and protection. We'll just go with staghorn and elkhorn now. And it's terrible because the reefs made out of this product, this live animal,
coral,
thank you, protects the shorelines from wave action, erosion, storm surges, things of that nature. And when they bleach, these bright colored corals end up.
You said it right.
Oof, I did it slowly.
Good job.
They bleach bright white, and it's a terrible tragedy, and then they die. Mm-hmm. So they don't offer the support for the shoreline that they normally would. Well, Miami Beach is creating a concrete coral reef.
Good job. You're nailing it.
I'm practicing. My father, a school teacher, we talked about this in context of school teachers, 10 months and 12 months. My father, who was a school teacher and a principal and an administrator for years and years and years, all the school teachers would take summers off and work in the beach clubs that, dotted the shoreline of Long Beach and Atlantic Beach. And he was working at a place called the Coral Reef.
Okay.
Just as a side point of information. It's not there anymore.
I think Jimmy Buffett's backup band was the Coral
Reefers. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
yep.
The Reefers.
Yep. So Miami Beach is known for its gorgeous beaches, Cuban food, and terrible traffic. They've created a concrete coral, and it's going to form it's coral, 1 L, not corral, 1 R, not 2.
Not a corral.
Right, exactly. I was reading that wrong, by the way.
But it's okay.
It's going to be the first of its kind underwater sculpture park and hybrid reef.
Did you get what I got there with the corral?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We let them go.
All right.
Open the gates.
Yep.
And Blake, if you could hunt around and see if you can find a picture of the
reef balls.
Those are cars.
Those are cars.
Reef Line or the Blue Lab Preservation Society, but the Miami Beach concrete coral. And what it is they made sculptures, car-sized sculptures,
Okay.
concrete, and they're going to drop them in.
Well, none of them are convertibles. That's not Miami.
There you go.
Because every other car in Miami seems to be a convertible.
Which is nice. It's good.
Yeah.
As long as you're not Isadora Duncan and get your scarf caught in the wheel, and that's just the end of you. There also might have been Mamie Van Dorn as well, but I think it was Isadora Duncan. One of the two of them at least had their scarf caught in the tire out of the convertible, and they choked to death. Yeah.
Sounds a really rough way to go.
Yeah. Well, just don't wear really long scarves.
That's a really ridiculous scarf.
Yeah.
Or a really small car.
Got a picture.
That's
There you
it.
go. Thank you very much. Perfect. Okay.
The exact picture.
So those are concrete cars that are going to be dropped in, and it's an 11-phase project. It's $40 million that they're looking to raise. It's going to go 7 miles the length of Miami Beach, and they're going to plant thousands of corals around those
It's going
cars.
to confuse the hell out of the next alien that takes over our planet. So did they drive underwater?
Exactly. But it's nice because they're only going to be 600 feet from the shoreline. They're not going to be that deep. You can swim out and snorkel over them and around them and go play in them. And it's a free sculpture
What's
park.
the depth?
It doesn't say here, it seems. 600 feet from shore, but it doesn't say what the depth is. No scuba gear needed. Just a snorkel and a mask. And
fun.
yeah. Concrete cars will be seated with 2,200 corals cultivated by Reef Line Miami Native Coral Lab in the next phase of the project.
Awesome.
And this is to protect the shoreline from all these environmental issues of storm surge, hurricanes, things like that, tidal structuring.
Only 600 feet off. I feel like that would possibly create some silting, though.
Maybe.
Okay. Where the dirt would overwhelm the reef ball. Because they would still be in the wave line.
At 600 feet?
Yeah, it should be.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they know what the hell they're doing. So.
Yeah. Well, it's underway. You saw them. They're going to start dropping them down there.
All right, we'll see. We'll see in 10 years if it works.
Right, because they don't have a final completion date.
It's another one we'll just wait and see.
Right.
We'll see.
And one of them.
And sometimes that's the best answer. We'll see.
Right.
It's not you're right or wrong.
Well, that's
we'll
sort of what
we'll see.
Mandani is saying in New York. I'm going to give it a shot. Yeah. If it doesn't work, we'll try something else.
Yeah, 4 years.
Right. So
4 years experiment on your economy. Good luck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Hey, look. I heard a couple of interviews where Curtis Sliwa said, "If I lose, I'm staying in New York." If Cuomo loses, he's already said, "I'm going to Florida." Mm-hmm. And boy, they were lining up to offer Curtis Sliwa a bunch of money to drop out of the race.
To go to Florida?
Well, he had to go anyway. Just drop out of the race.
Yeah.
He was offered millions and millions of dollars by more than one person. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like somebody pulled their money and said, "Here's the money for." He got 2 or 3 or 4 different phone calls to say, "Drop out of the race, let Cuomo try to win, and we'll give you all this money."
We'll give you a consulting job.
And he said,
"You don't have to actually show up."
Right.
Just
it's not who he is. That's not who he is. Don't forget, this guy started the Guardian Angels when he was a teenager.
Yeah.
And he tried to make New York City.
Money's not driving.
No, not at all. No,
all.
not in the least. No.
Yeah.
You have to admire what he's done. And he started Guardian Angel programs all across the world as well, in other places. So he's an interesting guy.
Yep.
But this is going to be a fun little project, and we can go. They're going to create the Miami Reef Star with a large-scale trail of a starfish. They've got a stranded blue whale, which I think that's a little depressing. Mm-hmm. There's one of the sculptures are going to pull the heart of Okeanos.
So is it going to be like the skeleton of a blue whale?
I hope not. And why would you want to do something that's a beached blue whale? First of all, blue whales are big.
They're large.
They're big. So,
but if it's a skeleton, I could see swimming through it. I could see things being attached to it. They got to attach the coral to it at some point. Yeah.
20 feet below the water surface. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I could definitely free dive that.
And the cars are going in to create an underwater traffic jam. That's how they're going to place them.
Yeah, that's what we need, Miami.
So it was 20 feet. Well, talking about the traffic.
I prefer the blue whale at that point.
What's like one awful like I believe it's on like the turnpike that they were basically like I believe it's like where both 95 and then the turnpike merge into like one for like a bit, and then you just have like 7 lanes of just hell trying to for like each driver to find out, okay, I'm getting on the turnpike now. Like do you remember like we drove down to Miami to watch the Marlins game back in 21, and you got the intersection. It was like, oh my God, Blake, help me.
Yeah, I didn't know which lane to be in.
Yeah,
it's like over by Indian Town, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's one of those where I was like, okay, I know I don't want to be back on the turnpike. I need to be here, but then again, I wasn't sure which one to be.
Right.
And when it gets like that, I get frustrated.
Well, sometimes
that's why I don't like driving in big cities. I don't like driving anyway, but I really don't like driving in big cities. And I don't like when other people drive in big cities and I'm on the passenger seat where I have no control either. So,
yep.
As long as I'm asleep, it's fine. So.
Well, at least on some of the highways, they're now putting when you've got multiple lanes, they're putting a painting in the lane which tells you whether you're on 95, whether you're going to be on I-4, where you need to go to stay in the lane to keep you in the direction you want to go, and that's helpful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. We got some on the SNAP program. You said, right?
I did. We can do that, or we can do medical debt. I haven't finished my research on the SNAP program.
Let's do the medical debt. Let's do the medical debt because I think that's a real
it's
thing.
An important thing.
And as people financially,
it is crushing.
It's crushing, but also, if you work with the system, it's one of those things you'll die with that debt.
Yeah.
Most people die with medical debt,
which is horrific because according to
so it's not a sustainable system. So
it's Peterson Center on Healthcare and the Kaiser Family Foundation. A third of the country, 100 million Americans, owe over $220 billion in medical debt, and that's just choking for people.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why the healthcare issue is such an important issue, overriding the shutdown.
Yeah.
Depending on it doesn't matter which side you're on. Everybody's got to deal with healthcare issues, healthcare costs, healthcare insurance. Nobody's come up with a clean fix or the right answer yet. So it's still going to be around for a while.
Well, Blake's about to get into this world.
Yeah.
So I think when he turns 25, he's going to have to.
Was it 25 or did it go up to 26, 27?
Did it go to 27?
So
you're still good then.
Yeah,
I think so. I'm not sure.
I believe my 25th birthday is my last year. Then when I turn 26, then I have to find something.
Then
else.
You have to find it. Okay.
All right. So you got a little bit of time.
He's got a year.
Okay. Well, maybe they'll have it fixed by then.
Yeah. He's got a year.
One can hope.
I hope so.
Yeah. Let's see. $18 million over the course of 3 years to relieve medical debt. So, New York City, under Eric Adams of all people, believe it or not, invested $18 million over the course of 3 years to relieve medical debt for 500,000 residents in the city, worth over $2 billion. So they bought $2 billion worth of medical debt for $18 million and forgave it for those 500 residents. And the healthcare providers know they're not going to get blood from a stone, so at least they're getting something out of this. It's like a bankruptcy creditor type of situation. Yeah. You're getting something. And it's interesting to see because it's a lot of cities and states doing it by themselves. It's not a federal program at this point in time. I look to see because, I didn't want to go off and just say, well, it's only the blue states and the blue cities that are doing it. But I will say it's primarily the blue states and the blue cities that are doing it. So there's definitely a difference in opinion on how to handle it in some of the places. And it's interesting to see because you got Michigan, Arizona, New Jersey, Illinois, Rhode Island, and North Carolina. And North Carolina,
Connecticut was first.
Connecticut became the first state to launch medical debt relief in 2023.
Yeah,
correct.
We got to give them cred.
Yeah, oh yeah. Cook County in Illinois was smart. They took the American Rescue Plan recovery funds, and they used that to eliminate medical debt for a lot of people. North Carolina, which is a reddish state, it's not ruby red, but it's certainly not blue by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, I think
and we'll see what happens
more red lately. But
and we'll see what happens next year's governor race because I think the governor I don't think the governor's up this year.
No.
But
there isn't a lot out there this year.
No, Jersey, Jersey, Virginia, and then the Prop 50 in. But there's a lot of courts that apparently are becoming very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Contested, because it's the Supreme Courts in a lot of these states that now then will weigh in on election results and things of that nature.
Okay.
So there's a lot of emphasis. Pennsylvania in particular, there's a lot of emphasis on the Supreme Court race there, and again in Wisconsin.
All right, and you said it was 220 billion in medical debt. What was the number?
It was $2 billion. No. 220 billion in the country for 100 million, for a third of the population. 100 million people, $220 billion.
Okay, can you just look up like what countries 220 billion is their entire GDP?
There you go. And it's interesting because
I think you're going to see some major countries
that are less than the medical debt of America.
Less than the medical debt in the U.S.
I know there's, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sharon Says So. Sharon McMahon, who calls herself America's government teacher. She was a high school teacher, I believe, who has a platform on pick anything. I'm sure Facebook. I know for a fact on Instagram. And she's been collecting contributions from her viewers, and she's well over a million followers, and has collected money. And she does this herself privately. Mm-hmm. People contribute to her fund, and then she buys medical debt and forgives medical debt.
Right.
And she's been doing this very, very successfully as a private matter. The states are doing it.
What Blake was trying to.
All right, so there's 200 countries on the Wikipedia that have the list of GDP. Around 142 countries have lower GDP than our medical debt.
What's the biggest country, most recognizable country you've seen?
Let's see. I'm going to pull up the list here. Let's see. So we have to go up to 58, which is trying to see. So you'll get to Ukraine, Cuba, Morocco, Slovenia, Uzbekistan, Ecuador, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. Then so Costa Rica, Croatia, Luxembourg. Yeah, so then like you go like all the way down Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, Jordan, Macau.
Yeah, all those are going to be
yeah.
Surprised Costa Rica is that.
Yeah,
because they got a lot of American money.
Right.
So
it's just not that big a country though, and I'm not quite sure what their industry is other than tourism for the most part. Probably fruit.
So
fruit exports. But it's interesting because where it was not a bipartisan issue, and in these blue states, they were doing it without or very few Republican votes, and that tide is changing quickly.
Now. And I might be crazy on this, but I would have I'd support something that relieves medical debt over college tuition debt, because you controlled how much you borrowed at that point.
Right.
Medical, you have zero control over this. Right. You don't know when you're going to have that car accident, when you're going to get cancer, when you're going to, God forbid, anything that can take you down and make you lose your job. Medical debt, you have zero control on. Right. So I would be more in favor of something that helps medical debt.
Forgiving medical debt.
Medical debt over college tuition. I have zero sympathy for. You signed that contract, and you chose to take that money, and if you went and spent it on beer, instead of buying books, which happens, it's a real thing.
Sure.
So I have a problem with that. Yeah. But medical debt, I can get behind supporting medical debt as a program, a more socialized program. So.
Well, it started out slowly because a lot of states started with legislation saying that your medical debt can't be reflected in your credit scores, your credit reporting. So Colorado was the first one to do that. They did it with only one Republican vote supporting it, and it passed, barring medical debt from credit reporting. Minnesota passed something similar with no GOP votes, strangely.
But that kind of that's not giving a fair picture to the debtors, and then when they fail, it's not on. I'm
What do you mean?
I'm torn on that.
What do you mean?
Because if medical debt isn't reflected on your credit report, even though you do have that debt. It's a real number.
Right.
You know,
but again, this was not something that, it's not like you went and you maxed out your credit card for Christmas presents.
I get it. I get it. I mean, it probably needs its own category within the credit.
Right.
I mean, I think it still needs to show. I don't think it, like you said, it shouldn't affect if you're an 800 and now you have this medical debt. You shouldn't go down to a 400.
Right.
You know, but I think it's something that should show to give the lenders a fair shake.
Okay.
You know, I mean, you know, I'm, you know, and I can't believe I'm defending the lenders, but, you know, you can't get onto them because a loan fails because they didn't have all the information too.
Well, which loan is, what loan are you talking about?
I mean,
independent of your medical debt?
Yeah. Like,
so if you're going out looking for a mortgage or something?
If you're going after a mortgage and your medical debt throws it where you're well over the 30% rule that you should have going to housing.
Right.
That's not fair to the lender either.
True.
So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It might need to have its own category.
Right.
You know, but I think the lenders got to have some inkling of this information.
Well, it's interesting because the tide is changing. Rhode Island did it with complete bipartisan support. Mm-hmm. The Republicans were on board with the Democrats. California, it passed 72-0 in the state assembly and 39-0 in the state senate. So all the Republicans there supported it. Illinois was unanimous in the state senate and 109-2 in the state legislature or the assembly. Mm-hmm. So you know, the Republicans are not adverse to this at all. Interestingly, Oklahoma, which is the reddest of states that's participating in some fashion, you can't collect on medical debt if you did not publicly post your prices. So you have to post your prices, whether you're a hospital or a doctor or whatever. You have to put your what it's going to cost these people. You have to publicize that, and then you can collect. But if you don't do that, you can't collect. Okay. So it's not like, well, you know, how often do you go to the hospital and you say, how much is it going to cost? Nobody thinks to do that when they're
no one asks that question.
Getting clear. Wah!
No, only one.
Right.
Only hit me once.
Right. Use one paddle. Right. So, you know, it's tough, but it's a choking debt for a lot of people. And as you said very clearly, it's not something people are signing up for, volunteering for. They're not saying, you know, let me take out $100,000 on my left arm because,
on a gallbladder.
I'm into it. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
you know, a kidney stone costing you $50,000. No, thanks.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep your kidney stone, please.
Right. Can once I pass it, can I put it on a chain and hang it around my neck?
They don't let you keep them, do they?
People do that. Some people do.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Some people give me gifts.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. It is now time for 5 questions.
Okay.
You have 4 solid questions written out, at least 3.5.
Yeah, I got 3.5 because I think one we may have done in the past because, you know, I don't remember shit.
Yeah. But, I will come up with a 5th question as we get closer.
All right. I got one really good one and then a couple of them because I gave you a little bit of a preview. And, you know, the first one, which we may have discussed a couple of times before, is, and Blake adapted this one. So my question was, what's the one food that you can't live without, that you must have? And then what's the one food that you could give up and never have to, and would never eat again without a problem? And then Blake said, what's the one food that you wouldn't like to eat that if you wrapped it in bacon, you would eat?
Okay. Everything's good in bacon.
There you go. Exactly. It's like
the only thing I've had bacon that I didn't like is I don't like bacon chocolate. It's 2 things I absolutely love.
Interesting.
But I don't like them together. Have you ever had bacon chocolate?
I don't think so, and I can understand that. But you know, salty and sweet works well for a lot of people.
It normally does. It normally does, and it was just one of those things where I was just like, no, that's not. They did. I thought I was going to enjoy it, and I didn't.
You see, I grew up with ramaki, and the ramaki I grew up with was bacon wrapped around chicken livers, and roasted together, as opposed to bacon wrapped around water chestnuts. Yeah, you know, there's no real appeal to me. I mean, the bacon is the best part of the water chestnut ramaki. The chicken liver and the bacon is a nice combination. Yeah, because you get, you know, the unctuous chicken liver and the good fat and salt from the bacon. Good stuff.
Yeah. All right, here I have a good question that I like.
Okay.
I found it right away, and I don't think we've ever asked this question.
Good.
What person knows the most secrets about you?
Me.
You. Oh, no, besides yourself.
Oh,
That's a great answer. It is you.
right. Without a doubt. I'll go with my wife. Hi, honey. What do you know about me that you don't know that you know about me, or I don't know that you know about me? Don't answer that out loud.
No.
I got to figure it's got to be my wife.
I would think it would be your wife.
Yeah.
So.
She's been playing this game with me for 30 years plus.
Blake, who do you think knows the most secrets about you?
Probably Big Mom.
Big Mom.
Oh, okay.
All right.
There you go.
And I'd say it's probably my sister.
Okay.
Because she knows my childhood and my adulthood. She knows stories that I've probably forgotten or wanted to forget. So I'd say it's probably my sister.
Yeah, and I can't go with my sister necessarily because she left, got married, and moved to California when she was 21 and I was 11. And then she's been out there ever since. Mm-hmm. So it's not that we don't talk. As a matter of fact, today's her birthday. Happy birthday, Kate. We love you.
Happy birthday.
But she wasn't around for necessarily the formative years. I think Julie's going to be the winner.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, it makes sense.
Yeah.
She's been around you a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Question number 3.
Okay.
Or did we ever answer question number 1, your first question?
The food?
Yeah.
I'll probably go with broccoli.
Broccoli, you wrap bacon around broccoli?
Or
and you think you would eat it?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Is what would you never give up? What food must you have in your diet?
Bacon.
Okay.
It has to be I'm actually going to go potatoes, French fries.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, that's not a bad one.
I eat a ton of potato chips, so if you count that in the potato
absolutely.
category,
Yeah.
Potatoes might be.
Let's buy one, get one, though I will tell you, having grown up in the Northeast, Wise was the best brand of potato chips around. And, in my parsimonious way, Publix was having a BOGO on Wise potato chips and cheese doodles. And boy, that was a fresh bag of puffy cheese doodles, not Cheetos, but cheese doodles. Got one of each. And there was something really familiar about the Wise potato chips. Now, we're primarily an Utz family now.
Well, Wise was right there. That's where the factory was.
Really?
It was
Where the
right
jail
across
is?
the street where the jail was.
Wow, nice.
So it was behind the jail, but it was right there.
And Winn-Dixie, I don't think carries Wise potato chips. They don't. But they do carry Utz. And the reason we like the Utz better is because they've got the lowest sodium of any major potato chip brand out there. Whereas Lay's and Wise are between 6 and 7%. Utz are 4%. And it's really noticeable because when I ate those Wise, like I said, it was like familiarity coming back. It was a Proustian memory. And it was salty. But it was good salty. So, yeah.
Yeah. Why? I love chips. Yeah. I love chips. I was snacking out there right before, and I was checking the time. Okay, I can do one more handful. I was timing the show around my snack time.
So the other question.
Let's see, as far as bacon goes, what would I wrap bacon around? I like it around pretty much everything.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I like I said, I don't know, and I like most foods. So it would have to be like maybe peas, like those chocolate like freeze-dried peas, like the wasabi peas.
Wasabi peas are good, yeah.
Yeah, wasabi peas with wrapped in chocolate, so you might have the salty, the spicy, and all that together.
Okay. All right.
That might be something to try out.
All right.
So,
We can
because
see
I
if
do
we
like
can do it.
wasabi peas. That's the only type of pea I really like. So
Yeah,
I'll go with that.
I used to hide my peas in the mashed potatoes, but I got found out.
Yeah.
How
I
come you got so much mashed potatoes left on your plate? Don't look under them. There's nothing there, nothing to see.
Well, fortunately, my dad didn't like peas either. So we didn't have a whole lot of peas, but we did have a lot of lima beans, and I didn't like lima beans, but I love lima beans now.
Yep, I'm with you. I wouldn't eat lima beans as a kid, but succotash, man, a little bit of butter and enough black pepper, and that's a good combination.
Suffering succotash.
Yep. I still got one good one that I'm keeping for a couple of seconds, but we talked a little bit earlier. If you're going to go see a movie that was a book, do you prefer to read the book before you see the movie?
I don't read a whole lot anymore, but I did used to read a lot more than I do now. Now I doom scroll instead of read a book.
Don't we all?
So I read a lot less because of my phone. I'm gonna say before I like to read the book and then go see the movie.
Right.
And every once in a while, there was a movie I went and saw, and then went, "Oh, I didn't know there was a book," and then I go back and read the book. But for the most part, it's usually book and then movie.
Right, and I'm going back. I've got to be going back, 6 years or so. But before we saw any Harry Potter movie, I read the entire book series first.
Oh wow!
So that made it a lot easier.
I didn't watch it, or I didn't read any of those. I watched all of them, but I didn't read
any
of them.
Yeah, there was an easy. Obviously, they're geared toward young adults. So it was an easy read, but went through all of them and then started watching the movies.
Yeah.
And that was the particular.
I never read Lord of the Rings. Mike was a huge Lord of the Rings guy, but I never watched the movies either. That didn't interest me.
Okay.
So, and I know a lot of people on the nerddom side are really upset with me about that, but I never saw any of the Lord of the Rings stuff.
You're gonna have a problem when
The Hobbit
night with who's the guy who got fired in September coming up? Oh, Stephen Colbert.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you'd have a hard time with him. He's a huge Lord of the Rings nerd.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'll be okay without him in my world.
Well, we can
I've lived so far without it. So.
He actually showed up in Maine when we were working up there a couple of years back. He was in town. All right, live theater. Blake, book or movie?
It has to go movie first.
Okay, and then would you read the book afterwards?
No.
Okay, then. Well, there we go. Thank you for playing our game.
Blake, have you ever read? Outside of school, because you're not a reader either. You grew up in a time where reading. There's readers out there. Fictional book. As an adult, have you really even got into reading any books that's a fictional book as an adult?
It's been far. It's no.
Because you've had the internet your entire adult life.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, since I've had the internet, it's made my reading go down to almost zero, unless someone hands me a book like a self-help book or a history book.
Well, yeah.
I've read a handful of those, not recently, but within the last 5 years. But I bet I've read 3 books in the last 5 years.
Wow. And I just started a book, and I'm really making a conscious effort to watch less TV and phone for the time being while I can read the book, and it's the latest Dan Brown thriller with Robert Langdon. He's in Prague. Interesting. So that's going to be fun, and then I'm sure they'll turn that one into a movie as well with the Golem, which I'm not giving any spoilers because that shows up in the first 2 chapters. So I enjoy reading. I just don't do it as much as I used to. And I don't know if it's my eyes, but I don't have the longevity in able to read for 2 hours without getting really tired or my eyes fatigue. So, but my eyes are getting weirder by the minute.
Yeah, my eyes definitely are getting worse. Did you watch my 2 cents last week?
I did.
Okay, about losing your eyesight.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
And it frightens me.
I losing eyesight, but you gain vision.
Right.
All right. Here you go. I found an interesting one too. I pulled up a cheat list over here.
Okay.
Who would you say is the most interesting person you know? Most interesting person you know? Or have known.
It could be one of my old college roommates and a fraternity brother, Ziggy.
Okay.
He was the country's youngest certified glider pilot instructor when he was 16.
Okay.
He is brilliant. He is fun. And just, one of the most interesting people I know.
Yeah. Blake, who you got?
The most interesting person I know, or
most interesting person you know or knew, if they're no longer with us.
Well, besides you, I'm gonna say Scott Lagasse.
Okay. You went with fame.
Vroom vroom.
Yeah, you went with fame.
Yeah.
But I my person's famous too, but I found him to be somebody who I didn't always think I would be friends with. Was actually George McGovern.
Right.
He was a bomber pilot. This guy loved history. I'm talking him and I talked history. He loved. Well, he did, and from a totally different culture. He had his father was a Methodist preacher, but his
South Dakota, correct?
Yes, yeah. So just really just a interesting guy. I would have been friends with him if we were closer to the same age.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he was 40 years, 50 years older than me. But just a really interesting guy. And Stetson was cool too.
Mm-hmm.
My coach Thomas was an interesting guy. He was a football star at Florida A&M and taught kids for 40 years and has a streets named after him in DeLand. He was an interesting guy. I mean, and my baseball coach, of all my baseball coaches, Coach Pentelis, probably had an IQ of like 160. He taught calculus. I mean, his task analysis skills of breaking down anything were just through the roof. I'm kind of a tough guy to play for, but I like playing for really strict coaches. I didn't like the carefree. I was such a competitive person when I had a carefree coach and people weren't working as hard as I felt like they should. I got aggravated, and losing is not one of my favorite things to do. No.
Yeah, no.
Because if you're not giving the effort, then so Ziggy not the cartoon character.
No, Rand Siegfried. Yeah, no, absolutely wonderful person. His wife is brilliant as well. So are their children, as a matter of fact. He now lives on a houseboat.
There you go.
He's a pilot. Actually, this is my roommate who had a plane at school. So every now and again we go.
Does he have an alligator living underneath the boat?
No, he doesn't have Elvis on board either.
Yeah.
No, he's in San Francisco Bay, up over by not Berkeley, but what is it? Sausalito.
Cool.
Sausalito, yeah.
Sounds like an interesting.
As a matter of fact, he's a pilot, and he's been a pilot forever. His father was a pilot for United Airlines forever, and so he literally grew up flying, and took Julie and I in his DC-9 one day, and we got to fly over San Francisco Bay, the Golden Gate Bridge. Fascinating when you got out into the Pacific. All of a sudden, you're in one of the legendary fog banks. Flew back around, flew over Stanford University, over Palo Alto, and then back to the Oakland airport, where he slowed down. We jumped out. He picked up again, and he went to pick up his wife because he's her personal pilot when they need to be someplace.
I like it.
Yep, he's a great man. He's also an inventor, and he was a toy maker. I mean, the guy's just talk about Renaissance people.
I think this is
absolutely
this is the kind of guy. This is why you ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, he's more interesting at the end of that answer than he was at the beginning of that answer. So
he's fabulous.
Yeah,
we saw him just recently, as a matter of fact. So when we were out in Vegas, it was great. Mm-hmm. His family was there. It was wonderful. Great family, person, great people. He's
the kind of guy I can feel this a little bit, not at this level, but he's the kind of guy if you're like at a cocktail party and people just go,
yeah,
is he for real? Yeah. So,
well, that'd be my buddy Dan Marcotti. Mm-hmm. He's a lot like you because he said I don't lie, and he doesn't lie, and it's been borne out. He will tell you the big fish stories that you like to share, and man, oh man, holy cow, Dan, how
did that really happen?
Exactly.
Yeah, and when I did the reunion, we were doing it, but these stories were all of us collectively did it.
Right.
It wasn't like it was just me that was doing this. It's just we actually did all that.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there was a time where I was like, "Hey, you remember when you did this?" And they go, "No, that was Mark," or "No, that was Chris." I was like, "Really?
Yeah.
I've been telling this story for 40 years wrong." They're like, "Yeah, you've been telling it wrong."
All right, I got the last one we're going to do for today because this is going to be an interesting one.
Okay.
Do you believe in an afterlife and/or reincarnation? Not afraid to ask the tough questions.
No. And here's here's my honest answer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
exactly,
but I'm excited to find out which one.
Right.
And I'm excited to find out if there's none. But if there's
none, we won't know.
I won't know.
Right.
And guess what? I still won't know.
Right.
And I'm people that give the definitive answer of that, you don't know.
Right.
And I don't want to steal away from your faith. I don't want to steal away from any of those things. But guess what? You don't know.
Right.
And there's some things I've been so matter of fact, I was thinking about 2 cents, and this is one of the things I was thinking about is saying the words I don't know. And it might be the smartest words I say.
Right.
Because, there's people that give definitive answers. Like they're 100% true. And they believe them to be 100% true. But they don't know. So, and it's okay.
I think that's a sign of maturity.
It's okay not to know.
Yeah, I think admitting you don't know something, which is often hard for me because, I have an opinion on most things, is pardon me, a sign of maturity to say, I'm not quite sure. And then either go find out the answer or listen to somebody and learn something from somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, and there's so many times we leave this show or we have a topic and we don't know when we leave, but the three of us, our brains all work like we got to get that answer before we leave the room, and we'll stay 10 minutes to find out what the answer is.
Yep.
So, Blake, I don't know if you have an answer for it. Do you think of reincarnation, or and I'll tell you this, I think I'm leaning towards reincarnation, by the way.
Yeah.
So if you make me lean in a particular direction or a dimensional world that could exist. So
my thought is just like I'm more concerned about if the way I go out is going to be painful or not. Like that's my main concern.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, that's something I've never even considered.
That part, I don't think that comes into my thought process either.
Not at all.
I think I'm more concerned about how I leave those behind me.
Right.
And that's a different in age, obviously.
Yeah, you got to clean out your underwear drawer.
Where we're at and how I leave.
But
I think I've done okay right now, but again, you don't know.
Well, so can we swing back to the first question? Who knows more secrets about you? The person who cleans up your house after you die?
Yeah. Yeah, that might be
Maybe.
that might be it.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, I mean, because those people are living with you usually.
Okay.
And most times, unless you're dying in a house by yourself.
Right.
They find out more things for sure. But
yeah, I don't know.
Actually, it might make them think different secrets exist if they do that. So
it's tough to tell. A lot of it becomes into the because we've talked about this. I'm not religious. You're not overly religious. I'm spiritual in a lot of ways that people would probably not even begin to believe. I'm slightly superstitious, only in what I carry in my pocket every day. I'm a big fan of totems and charms, but just because they mean something to me, not for any, protection or anything of that nature. But I think the question is, there's a lot of thought that there's a finite amount of energy, and energy can't be destroyed. So if you die, where does your energy go? And that comes into the question of whether there's a soul or not. Is the soul perpetual? And where does that go? So, does that bode for reincarnation?
See, and that's where I'm wondering if dimensionals and and people might interpret heaven differently, or if it's just another dimension. I mean, there's a lot of different answers, but the answer is, I don't know.
And I'm not rushing this by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm intrigued to find out.
Yeah.
And I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah.
Easy. Take your time. I'm not going any place that fast, hopefully.
Yeah. And one of the radio callers that we used to have, we called her the professor. She was a smart lady. She called in at least twice a week, sometimes more. Bobby was Les Nessman on the radio. Everyone had their names, and we had different people. But she would say, "Troy, you're not a believer, but you're going to get a tent just outside the gates." I was like, "I'm okay with that.
Sure,
I'm okay with that."
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is I have a hard time believing you asked for forgiveness the last day, and you were a child molester,
right?
And that's okay. It just doesn't. I don't know a whole lot, but I don't think it works like that.
Right.
So I just don't think it works like that. So, and I was raised Christian. So
yeah. So Lane, thank you for this ending existential question for all of us today. So I thank you. I appreciate it.
It's
I'm glad you stayed awake the entire time, Blake. We're
our
worried about
horizons here. And Bobby said, rooting for the Mets. Don't I have to be superstitious?
You have to be.
Hell yeah.
You have to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's not enough fingers I can cross when we're up. Believe me.
They used up all their miracles in '69.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
That is the end of our show.
It's a beautiful way to start the week, my friend.
All right. And it was a great show, great questions. And we'll be back here tomorrow, Bollocks, this evening. Hopefully the government shutdown is over. That means Blake would win. But we're coming into Amanda territory here.
Oof.
So, all right. Thank you, guys.
See you tomorrow.
Go see our sponsors.
Bye.
Bye.